All right, here's our last example here. It says, suppose that $10,000 is invested at a continuous R and grows to $17,160 in 9 years. Part A wants us to find the exponential growth function in terms of t, where t is in years. So my buzzword, continuous. So that tells me that I'm using S equals PERT, P-E to the RT. So what does everything equal? Well, I know I don't have R. So I know I'm going to be solving for R. So I need to find my S, my P, and my T. So $10,000 is invested. That's my P. And it grows to this amount here. So that's my future amount. That's my S. And then, of course, 9 is my T. So plugging everything in. We get this right here. So follow your steps. Isolate, rewrite, solve. Isolate the exponential by dividing this over first. Because this decimal here does not keep going, I'm going to keep this as a decimal. If you want to turn it into a fraction, that's fine. What we can't use as a decimal is when we got something like this, where it kept going and I had to cut off digits. But this one here, it stops. That's a good number right there. So we'll do 1.716 equals e to the 9r. So I'm now isolated. So now rewrite. We're going base to the other side of the equals. A log with a base of e is a natural log. So we got natural log of 1.716 equals 9r. It's going to equal what's left. So we isolated, we have rewrote. Last step is to solve. So I'm going to divide by 9. And I get r equals the natural log of 1.716 divided by 9, which is about, and it hasn't told me how to round. Normally we're going to round to 2 decimal places. Let's go 2 decimals. And so that is really, really close to 6% with all of those 9s right there. So that's about 6%, which if we needed a percentage, that'd be about 6%. But again, read the questions. What are we asking to find in this problem? We want to find the exponential growth function in terms of t. So basically what I'm doing is I'm needing to find a formula. So I don't know what the future amount's going to be, but this P, the amount that I invested, doesn't change. So we have 10,000 E. I now know my R to the 0.06, and I'm wanting this in terms of T. So T, here is my exponential growth function. Okay, now I can figure out, now that I have a formula based off of this information, I can find any number of time if I know the future amount, or if I know the future amount, I can figure out my time. So it wants to know how long, so that tells me I'm solving for time. How long will it take for the account to grow 5 times the invested amount? So 5 times the invested amount means that I want to know, when is my S going to be at 50,000? So using my formula, I now have 50,000 equals 10,000 E to the 0.06 T. Isolate, rewrite, solve. Isolate the exponential by dividing over. at 10,000. We're left with 5. And that's always going to happen when they tell you something like that. If it's 5 times, we should be ending up with a 5. If it was double, we would have 2 equals. So we've isolated. Now we're going to rewrite. This rewrites as the natural log of 5 equals 0.06 t. And then my last step is to divide. So we get t equals the natural log of 5 over 0.06. And we get about 26.8 years. How long it will take for me to get 5 times the amount of money that I have invested.